channel Concept Mediji. So I think all of you have already subscribed to my channel. If not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel and to get the latest updates about my upcoming live classes and my recorded videos. So please do press the bell icon also to get the updates about my classes and timing also. So in today's class I will explain about Kirchhoff's laws. So what is Kirchhoff's law? So what is the basic circuit diagram and why we are studying about Kirchhoff's laws, the basic necessity to study Kirchhoff's laws and the applications also. In a simple circuit I will solve a question, a numerical. In that circuit I will explain the use of Kirchhoff's laws as well as all the circuit diagrams I will simplify. So let us start our today's class. So before starting our today's class, I need to again tell you all, please do subscribe to my channel to get the updates about my classes. So what is Kirchhoff's law? So before understanding Kirchhoff's law, you need to first understand Ohm's law. So I think you all are aware of Ohm's laws. What is Ohm's law? Ohm's law is applicable in very simple circuit. You can see this is a very simple circuit. So this is one resistor is connected, a voltage source is connected. I can say this is V. So due to this voltage source, I current is flowing. This is voltage source V. I current is flowing in this direction. This is plus, this is minus. So very simply you can say I is equal to V by R. But for complicated circuit, like you can say two voltage sources are there. One is E1. One is E1 is there, another voltage source E2 is there. So in this type of circuit, how to solve the current flowing through a particular resistance? So in this type of circuit, you need to understand Kirchhoff's law. So for such type of circuit, you are going to apply Kirchhoff's laws. So suppose before understanding Kirchhoff's law, you need to get acquainted with the few terms. Like this is, you can say, just a minute, you can say this is the node. I am pointing it, this is the node. You can see this is the node. As well as this is also a node where two wires are joined or two wires are from a certain point. If the two wires are separated, you can say that point is a node, or you can say a junction. So similarly, this R3, I can say this is a branch. This is a branch. I can say this point as a node or a junction. Okay, and this is a voltage source E1, this is plus, this is minus, this is voltage source E2, this is plus, this is minus. So in a very simple manner I am going to explain what are Kirchhoff's laws. So Kirchhoff's invented two laws. The first law is Kirchhoff's current law. So it's known as very popular law, this is KCL. And another law is Kirchhoff's voltage law, and also Kirchhoff's voltage law is known as Kirchhoff's mesh law and Kirchhoff's loop rule. As well as Kirchhoff's current law is also known as Kirchhoff's point law and also Kirchhoff's junction rule. Okay, so I will explain first about Kirchhoff's current law. So Kirchhoff's current law is popularly known as KCL. So as I told you, this is a node or a junction. Okay. So suppose in a particular arrangement of electrical networks, suppose this type of, in a particular junction, you can see, suppose I1 current is flowing, and from this node or from this junction, this gets split into I2, I3, and suppose I4 current is coming to this junction, and also I5 current is coming into this junction. Then how to calculate or how to derive what are the currents coming and what are the currents going? A very simple rule is there, that is Kirchhoff's junction rule or Kirchhoff's current law. So what is the definition of that law? So in an electrical circuit or in an electric circuit, the algebraic sum of currents at any junction is 0. So you can say, suppose this is one junction, just for an example I am giving you, this is a junction, and what are the currents coming to this junction, as well as what are the currents are coming out from this junction, or if you sum all the incoming current and outgoing current, the total current sum must be 0. So I can say I1, the incoming current is I1 plus I5 plus I4, and what are the outgoing currents? I2 and I3. So I can say minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. Or you can write this equation as I1 plus I5 plus I4 is equal to I2 plus I3. Or another definition is that sum of currents entering a junction is equal to the sum of the currents leaving a junction. So this second equation is this is the definition. Okay, I think this is very simple and this is clear. Now I am coming to Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law, what is the definition? The algebraic sum of the products of the current and resistance. Products of current and resistance. So this is the product or multiplication of current and resistance. So from Ohm's law, what you deduced is that I is equal to P by R. So if I multiply I into R, that this is nothing but V. This is you deduce this from Ohm's law. From Ohm's law. Okay. So the algebraic sum of products of current and resistance in each of the conductor in any closed path. I mean to closed path. If I am talking about a closed path, that means you can see, I am just moving the previous slide. You can see this is example of a closed path. This is example of a closed electrical network. This is also example of a closed path. This is also example of a closed electrical network. So listen, the algebraic sum of the products of the current and resistance in each of the conductor in any closed path, in a network plus the algebraic sum of the EMF in that path is 0. That means the total voltage in the closed loop, that is equal to the summation of total voltage is equal to 0. So that means in another word you can say the summation of voltage drop in all the branches is equal to 0. So with this diagram it will be clear. So before going in detail of KVL or Kirchhoff's voltage law, you need to understand the rules. So rules, I mean to tell you the rules about how you are going to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. So before applying the loop rule in any closed path, you need to understand these two rules first. So suppose you are assuming that you are moving in a certain closed loop, you can move in clockwise direction, you can move in anti-clockwise direction. Suppose this is A and B, this is connected, this minus terminal is connected to point A, this plus terminal is connected to point B. So if you are moving in clockwise direction, that means this is clockwise direction. Suppose you are moving in this way. You are moving in a loop, suppose a clockwise direction. Suppose your motion is in this direction, or I can say suppose your motion is in this direction. So that means here this EMF or this voltage source, you are considering this as a positive. Similarly, if this is, you just twisted, like this minus terminal is connected to plus A, or this B is connected to plus terminal. So this A is connected now to plus terminal, B is connected now to minus terminal, and you are moving anti-clockwise direction. Okay, or you can say this is from A to B or from positive to negative. Just for reference, I am telling these two rules. You need to understand these two rules with circuit diagram. Okay, so you need to first understand these two rules first very clearly. Suppose you are moving in this direction, this minus to plus, then your EMF or voltage source is positive, and if you are moving from plus to minus, then your voltage source or EMF is negative. Now come to second rule. In second rule, suppose this is one node A, this is another node B or junction B, and this is plus, this is minus, and I current is flowing in this branch or in this resistor, across this resistor. Suppose I current is flowing across this resistor and motion in the loop is in this direction. So what is your values, or what is the notations, or what is the sign conventions? You need to understand these two rules first. So here B means the voltage drop across this resistor R, or this voltage drop across this resistor R is nothing but I into R, that is negative, because you need to remember or you need to understand these two rules very clearly, because whenever the current direction is along with the direction of motion in a loop, then you are assuming that IR is equal to negative. If the current direction is opposite and your assumption in the loop, or you are moving in the loop in this direction, just opposite, then that IR or that voltage drop is positive. Okay. So now with an example I am explaining. This is the example. Suppose this type of arrangement, as I told you in the beginning of the class, that suppose this is a complicated arrangement, two voltage sources are there, E1 and E2. So how to apply KVL? So here I can say this is E1. I am assuming my motion, direction of motion is clockwise. You can assume any direction. You can assume anti-clockwise direction also. But here I use this clockwise direction, motion, direction of motion. So I can say this in this very branch, for this very branch, the direction of motion is in this direction. For this very branch, the direction of motion is in this direction, and for this very branch, the direction of motion is in this direction, and for this very branch, the direction of motion is in this direction. So now I need to first try to find out what are the signs or sign convention for all the voltage drops. Like for this very branch, what are the sign of the voltage drop? Like this resistance R1, this is the resistance value R1. So what is the voltage drop here? That is nothing but I1 into R1, the current flowing across that resistance value multiplied with that resistance value. So I1 R1 is the voltage drop across this very branch. So this is negative. Why this is negative? Because you are assuming your motion is in this direction and current is also moving from this plus to minus. I have written I1 current is also moving is in this direction. If current direction and your assuming motion direction is the same, then you can say that voltage drop is the negative voltage drop. But here this is plus, this is minus, minus to plus, so this is positive. E1 is positive. Similarly, this is I1 R3, the voltage drop here is I1 R3. I am assuming the current is flowing, I1 current is flowing across R3. So the voltage drop is I1 R3. This is also negative because current is moving in this direction as well as your motion is also in this direction. This is negative. Similarly, suppose I current is flowing in this direction. Suppose I current is flowing in this direction and your direction of motion is also in this direction. So voltage drop here is IR2, that is also negative because I current and direction of motion both are in same direction. That's why IR2 is negative. So IR4, this is also negative. Applying the same rule. So what is the equation for the loop? So this is E1 is positive, I1 R1 this is negative, and I1 R3 this is negative, IR2 this is also negative. Then this voltage drop is E2 and this is E2 and this is IR4, this is also negative. So the equation for this very loop is like this. So applying the same fundamental concept, you can solve another example. So this is another example. I am showing you how the equations of motion you are going to write. So suppose this is a question given to you. So you need to find out the equations of motion. So simple, the equations of motion it is asking about. So suppose this is the loop motion, this is the loop, I am assuming clockwise direction. You can assume anti-clockwise direction also. So this is another loop. So book is also preferring to assume that this complete loop is another loop also. This is loop 1 also, this is loop 2 also. So I assume this is my loop 2, this is my loop 1. You can assume this big loop, this is your loop 1, this any of these two loop as your loop 2. Understood? So now I am explaining you. So now I am explaining you as how to apply KVL here. So this is my loop 1, this is my loop 2. So for loop 1, just try to focus on loop 1. So loop 1, this is the voltage source, this is E1, this is EMF, this is plus, this is minus, this is plus, this is minus. From E1, I1 current is flowing. So this is I1 current, this is I1 current. Again, from E2, I2 current is flowing. This is I2 current, this is I1, this is the node. This is combination of I1 plus I2. This is I3. I3 is nothing but I1 plus I2. So now focus on loop 1. So for loop 1, I1 R1 is equal to negative because I1, this I1 current is moving in this direction and your loop direction is also in this direction. So that means both the directions are same. So I1 R1 is negative. So similarly here I2 direction is opposite direction, but your loop direction is in this direction. Understood or not? This is loop direction is in this direction. This is clockwise direction. So I2 R2 is positive because if the current direction and loop direction are opposite to each other, then that voltage drop is positive. And E2, this is plus to minus, that's why it is negative. And E1 is positive because from minus to plus the loop is moving, that's why this is positive. Similarly, you can apply the same concept for loop 2. For loop 2, this is I3 R2. This is I3 current due to E2 is flowing. Sorry, this is E2 from E2 I2 is current is coming, and from E1 this is I1 current is coming. So in this node, this I1 plus I2 is combined to get I3. This I3 is now flowing across R3. So R3, so now the voltage drop here is I3 R3. So I3 R3 is equal to I1 plus I2 into R3, that is negative. So E2 is equal to positive. Why E2 is positive? Because from minus to plus, the loop direction is from minus to plus. The loop is moving in this direction, So that means this is from minus to plus. That's why E2 is positive. So I2 R2, this I2 current is moving in this direction, loop is also in this direction. That's why this is negative. So equation for loop 1. Just put all the values. So that means E1, this is positive, plus E1, I1 R1 is negative. This is I1 R1. This is I2 R2. This is positive. This is I2 R2. This is minus E2 is equal to 0. Now for loop 2, I am writing the equation for loop 2. This is E2 is positive, then minus I1 plus I2, or you can write it here as I3 R3, then minus I2 R2 is equal to 0. This is my equation 2. This is my equation 1. I think this is clear. If any doubt you are having, you can ask me in comment section. Next, this is a question, you need to solve this question. So what is the value of current flowing through 20 ohm resistors? Okay. So for this, to solve this type of question, you need to very clearly understand what is Kirchhoff's voltage law and what are the loop rules and what are the rules you are going to apply while solving or while applying Kirchhoff's voltage law. Understood? So this is my loop 1. I assume this as a clockwise motion. This is also my loop 2, this is also a clockwise motion. So for loop 1 and for loop 2, I need to first write the voltage drop sides. This is loop 1. For loop 1, this is, you can say, this is the loop motion in the loop. You are moving in this way. In this way you can notice, you should notice my crosser, movement of my crosser. This is moving in this direction, in this direction, in this direction. So if this motion is in this direction, I can say this is from plus to minus, so that's why this is negative. This is negative. Again, this is the motion in the loop is in this direction, and I2 current is coming to this direction. So this I2 I2 is coming to this direction, motion in the loop is in opposite direction. That's why this is positive. Again, this is opposite because the motion in the loop is in this direction, but I2 plus I1 plus I2 is in opposite direction. That's why this voltage drop is positive. So I can write 5 volt, this is negative, and this I2 multiplied with 200 ohm, this is positive, as well as I can say this is I1 plus I2 multiplied with 20 ohm is equal to positive. Okay, similarly for loop 2. For loop 2, you need to first calculate the sign conventions. So 4 volt you can say this is from minus to plus. So that's why this is positive. Again, this is loop is in this direction you are moving and current is in opposite direction. So you can say current is in opposite, current for loop 2 is in this direction. Current is in this direction for loop 2. Current is in this direction and motion is also in this direction. Okay? Current is in this direction, motion is also in this direction. For loop 2, I can say this I1 plus I2 multiplied with 20, that is negative. This is here positive, but here negative, depending on the loop direction. Okay? So, and I1 multiplied with 60 ohm. Okay, that is also negative because the current is in this direction and loop is also in this direction. That's why this is positive. So I can write the equations now very easily. This is minus 5 volt, then plus I2 into 200, then plus I1 plus I2 multiplied with 20 is equal to 0. Similarly, for loop 2, this is 4 volt minus I1 plus I2 multiplied with 20, then minus, just a minute, this is minus 60 I1 is equal to 0. This is my equation 1. This is my equation 2. So now come to the question. So question, according to the question, what is the value of current flowing through the 20 ohm resistor? So why is 20 ohm resistor? 20 ohm resistor is nothing but this is my 20 ohm resistor. So what is the current flowing? Here I3 current is flowing. I3 current is nothing but I1 plus I2. So I1 plus I2, that means I1 you need to first calculate I1 value, then you need to calculate I2 value. For as of now, both values are unknown to you. You need to first calculate both the values. So to calculate both the values, you need to do some simple manipulation. So in equation 1, so dividing equation 2, this is my equation 1, this is my equation 2, by 4. So by dividing equation 2 by 4, digit 4. Okay. So what you will get? You get 1 volt is equal to 20 I1 plus 5 I2. Similarly, simplifying equation 1. Simplifying equation 1, what you will get? You will get 5 volt is equal to 220 I2 plus 20 I1. So you can say, see here, this is equation, this is my equation 2 now, this is my equation 1 now after simplification. Then after mathematical manipulation, like you are now simple mathematical manipulation, you will get I1 value as 0.04535 ampere and I2 value you will get 0.01860 ampere. So by combining I1 plus I2, you will get I3 is equal to 0.6395 ampere. So one doubt will come to your mind that, ma'am, how will get the value of I1 and I2, individual value of I1 and I2 from the equation, simplified equations of equation 1 and 2. So you can see here, I'm just highlighting the points. You can see here, this is 20 I1, this is 20 I1. This is 1 volt, this is 1 volt. So what is common here? 20 I1 and 20 I1 is common here. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. So you need to simplify these two values. Like you can go for addition, you can go for subtraction. So subtraction must be the you should go for the subtraction, because you need to subtract this I1 part from both the equations, so that you can very easily calculate what is the value for I2 first. Then after getting I2 value, you put that I2 value in any of these two equations. Then you will get I1 value. I am repeating the steps. So here you can notice that this is equation 1, this is equation 2. So here what is common? So just to get the common value of any of these I1 and I2, I just did this simple manipulation, that dividing by equation 2 by 4. So after dividing 4, I can get, this is 20 I1 here, a term 20 I1. So in equation 1 also 20 I1 term is there. So two common terms are there. So in this way you are getting common to I1 term common in both the equations. So you can subtract equation 2 from equation 1 to get I2 value individually. Once getting I2 value individually, you can put that I2 value to get I1 value. So I1 plus I2 is now I3. So I think this is clear now. So for today's class, this much is for today's class. Do share, like and comment, and please provide your feedback in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel to get the latest updates. So thank you. Thanks for watching.